I want to talk to you about the 5 terrible attacks that will come against you before your breakthrough, as seen in the story of David, who went up against Goliath. Number 1, a terrifying situation will come against you in your life, presenting an enemy bigger than you expected. Goliath was 9 feet and 9 inches tall. His armor weighed more than most of us could carry. He was formidable and horrifying. Your enemy will defy you and attempt to breathe terror into your soul. The threat is to take your life, your loved ones, steal your stuff, destroy your destiny. Goliath stood and he shouted to the ranks of Israel. He said, "This day I defy the armies of Israel. Give me a man and let us fight each other." On hearing the Philistines' words, Saul and all the Israelites, they were dismayed and they were terrified. Number 2, the terrible attack that's going to come against you. Your position, countenance, and experience will not be equal to the fight before you. David was a sheep herder, delivering cheese to his brothers, among whom he was the youngest of 8. You'll feel underqualified for the task. In 1 Corinthians 1:27, it says, "God has chosen the weak things of the world to put to shame the things which are mighty." I love that. The only way that you will see victory will be if you'll rely on the power of God to rescue you. Number 3, those closest to you, even your own family, will burn with anger and throw insults at your zeal and your character. Jealousy will rage within them. Their cunning words will sting your heart, and false accusation will leave you stunned. David's brothers questioned his ability, his integrity, and his honor. They were offensive. "Why have you come down here?" they said. "And with whom did you leave those few sheep in the wilderness? I know how conceited you are and how wicked your heart is. You came down only to watch the battle." From his own brothers. They attempted to silence and to diminish his bravery. In fact, in the chapter before 1 Samuel 16, David's own father did not bring David out before Samuel to be considered as the one to be anointed king. Have you ever just not been considered? You're in good company. Number 4, others will try to fit you into their mold. They will give you armor that does not fit and weapons that are not suited to you. They'll question your judgment and your skill. They'll insist that you attempt victory their way. It says King Saul dressed David in his own tunic. David tried the armor on and finally he said, "I can't go in this because I'm not used to it." And number 5, all of this distraction, it's going to give the enemy an opportunity to move closer, to get keener and more hostile. The enemy will hurl insults and lies at you. Threats to terrify you will increase. 1 Samuel 17 says that meanwhile the Philistine, Goliath, with his shield bearer in front of him, kept coming closer to David. And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. "Come here," he said. "I'll give your flesh to the birds and the wild animals." The enemy is going to undervalue and underestimate your skill. The battle will require every ounce of courage that you have. So if all of these terrible attacks have been your journey, prepare for your victory. The end of the matter will reveal that God is preparing a triumph that will stagger all of those who are watching. You have in your hand the weapon that he has trained you to war with. Not one lie of the enemy came true, and it won't in your case either. David said to the Philistine, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." He prophesied to his adversary, "I'll strike you down and cut off your head." Those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's. According to your faith, sir, be it so. According to your faith, ma'am. So David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone, without a sword in his hand. Your promotion and your victory is on its way. Stand fast.